Silence while the sirens of the end failed to wail. Traveler. This world has failed to decay. From its carcass new life has flourished. Will you be the one to defend the world fall when the time comes? Or will you bring its destruction?
It's your Uncle Tony. I finally escaped from the psych ward, and trust me, they're not finding me this time. But I'm getting sick and fucking tired of these dumb-ass scam ads. I liked whenever scams kind of had like a little bit of technique to them. You know, like a little bit of something that kind of shows that there was cognitive function into going and making this actual thing. Like an asbestos lawsuit commercial or something like that. You know, back whenever it took some skill. But this has got to be my favorite so far. It's got no AI. It's got no nothing. It's actually just a dude this time. Roll the clip.
Hey, this person asked, tell us about that brain trick again. That thing was nuts. I'm going to stand up for this one because this is actually a pretty crazy story.
Okay, so starting off, this guy's on fucking something. Like, listen, he knows his way around some baking powder. That's what I'm saying. And I just love the way this guy's talking. And it's like, tell us about that brain trick again. That thing was nuts. What is that fucking statement even? Show us that brain trick again. That thing was nuts. So, whatever we're set up for, the brain trick itself is nuts. Impressive. Shocking. Inducing of awe. This brain trick. But he's gonna show us the brain trick, and he even has to stand up for it. What's he gonna do? A backflip? Stand on his head? Cook something with baking powder? I'm gonna accuse this guy of doing drugs for like the entire fucking video. He just looks like a crack! And I just want to say, dehumanizing a person because they do drugs, which is an actual problem, by calling them exclusively a crackhead and demeaning them for that, is fucking hilarious, to be honest. I love how the commenter's name is actually just Tony Baloney. Like, you made it sound like it's fake. This has got to be a joke. Now that I'm thinking about it, this has to be a fucking joke. Like, for real, though. Tony Baloney is something that sounds like I would make my spam account on Instagram. And the name of the sponsor is Neuroscience Simplified. That doesn't sound like a thing you can just fucking simplify to me. But we're going at it, I guess.
So, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this by now, but if you haven't, there was a new study that came out by like a former NASA scientist, like NASA, like the space NASA.
Like, he just switched to the black outline, like, subtitles, for no fucking, like, just in the middle of the video. Who the fuck does that? That's like the biggest sign of shitty video making ever, is when your subtitles are inconsistent. Like, you would have to be a special kind of fucking retarded to do that.
There was a new study that came out by like a former NASA scientist, like NASA, like the space NASA.
Look at how his fucking eyes are darting around. But, there was a new study, there's always a new study. This doesn't look like the kind of guy that would look at a study. Oh, I want to read a study. He is sure a lot of people have seen.
So, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this by now, but...
So, he says there was a study that came out by a former NASA scientist. Right, former NASA scientist. In case we don't know what fucking NASA is, he says NASA, the space NASA. Which is stupid as fuck, but almost squared stupid by saying that it's space NASA. What the fuck does NASA have to do with fucking neurology? Hey Bill, I'm thinking about making a rocket, and we're gonna shoot some satellites up in the air. Oh, that's great. I've been doing brain science. Brain science? In the rocket place? You're fucking fired. I just broke down why he's a former NASA scientist. He's not even like working towards the end goal here.
And he basically did a study on 3,000 people that were all highly successful.
A study on 3,000 people is a rather large study size, but even then, I wouldn't be doing anything with my brain for less than $1 million.
And he basically did a study on 3,000 people that were all highly successful, wealthy, and creative. And the one factor he found that was, in every single one of them.
The one factor he found in, In every single one of them. Why the fuck are you pausing? He's making this shit up on the spot. You know why he picked NASA? Because NASA is just, you think that's a bunch of smart people, you know? Like, everybody knows you can't be like an absolute genius, you know, a GED graduate, and go to NASA.
Like, without fail, was they all had like a very particular brainwave that operated in their mind at all times.
So in every single one of them, without fail, there was a brainwave that was going at all times. So, here's the breakdown of that. That could be literally anything. It's like whenever people say, did you know that your cell phone actually releases the same chemicals in your brain that you get from hard drugs? Same as eating fucking cheese, and chocolate, and sex. You know why? We only have a couple of chemicals in our fucking heads for feeling good. I don't know if you really sussed that out, and I don't have many of them left.
And he actually plucked that out and figured out exactly how to unlock that brainwave.
Well, remember, it was a very particular brainwave. It just, that all times thing, like, I'm not a fucking neurologist. Nobody at NASA is a fucking neurologist. Gonna just keep nailing that home. It just kind of feels weird. There's a brainwave going at all times, and it's just like the one brainwave. Like, I know there's gotta be some, like keeping your heart beating and all kinds of shit. But what is a brainwave? So, you know how your head has, like, fucking electrical signals and shit. A brainwave is the wave that's made by the electrical signal. So it's just one constant buzzing in there.
And he actually plucked that out and figured out exactly how to unlock that brainwave.
He plucked out the brainwave! He plucked out the brainwave! The brainwave, he plucked it out. Probably a figure of speech. But the way this guy looks, I'm pretty sure he either knows it's fake because he made it up or thinks it's real because hard drugs.
Brainwave. And it's like a 7-second brain trick you can do basically every night before bed.
So he got the brainwave, figured out how to unlock the brainwave, and it's a 7-second trick. Brain trick. And he nails the brain trick thing home. We hear brain trick like 3 times throughout this entire video. But it's a 7-second brain trick. Now, has this guy done it? I want to know, has this guy in particular?
And I'm normally not into the woo-woo type stuff like this. Like,
not into the woo-woo? Brother, what the fuck are you talking about? Not into the woo-woo stuff like this? So whatever this is, it's the woo-woo.
Into the woo-woo type stuff like this. Like, if you guys know me, you know I'm not into that at all. But I gotta say, like, my life...
If I know him, what are the odds of me knowing him? I've been to several rehab centers, buddy, but listen, it's, I never really went there to socialize.
I gotta say, like, my life really did turn around a lot after I tried this, so I'm gonna link the video down below if anyone wants to try it for yourself. It takes 7 seconds. It was...
Yeah, your life really did turn around after a certain point of trying something. Alright, and then he ends off the video in a very common way. There's a link below to another video. Don't click that fucking link. And then the video ends on just this random fucking dude in a beanie pointing down. And it's beautiful, honestly. Just this video of this guy pointing down, but it doesn't get to him pointing down. It cuts out halfway through.
I gotta say, like, my life really did turn around a lot after I tried this, so I'm gonna link the video down below if anyone wants to try it for yourself. It takes 7 seconds. It's really cool. Just check it out. Okay, this...
Which is hilarious. Like, what fucking video would end with just a random guy popping up?
Hey,
yeah.
and I have been talking, and we think you're being a little...
Oh, no, yeah, I got
just
you,
like
I
a
got
little
you.
bit. Is there any way you could, like, just kind of... Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
it's getting kind of
yeah.
loud. Well, we were wondering if you could...
Yeah, no, that's honestly my bad, yeah.
Just, it's a little loud.
That's yeah,
okay. Well,
I got you.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go back
yeah, sorry about
to
that.
what I was doing.